Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I'm in Irvine, California at the Medical Innovation Forum powered by Octane, and my guest today is Ala Santos. Ala, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Great to be here.
All right, so you thought you were going to get away from me. I know I saw you at the Cardiovascular Forum by Octane as well, and I finally got you on the show, so thank you for coming on.
This is exciting. I'm very glad to be here.
All right, so what brings you here today? What brings you to the forum?
For me, this is a great networking venue. This is a place to meet awesome people and also great innovation. And new companies get a little bit of a head start and knowledge of what's happening in the medtech.
Yeah. What's been one of your favorite parts of the conference so far?
I do love the pitches of the Octane portfolio companies, which you're making me miss right now for recording of this interview.
You're welcome. But you, come on, you'd rather be with me or with... No, I'm just go ahead.
Well. No, let's see where the conversation goes. But the interviews with you is also, I guess, fun. So it's competitive.
So other than the interview with me, what's one of your favorite parts of the conference, just in general?
So as I mentioned, like the pitches are great of the Octane portfolio companies. I do like panels as well. I love the discussions, mostly for exposing really good, thoughtful and insightful people that you can then, in this very casual environment of the Octane conference, meet at the networking after the speaker part, the sessions are ended. The networking that's going to happen after, at the end of the day, that's going to be the chance to talk to all those folks and follow up with the questions too.
Now, I know I met you at the last Octane event. Have you come to a bunch of Octane events in the past? Because this is only my second one, so I feel like I'm kind of a newbie, but I always get a lot of value. It's so amazing, the people I meet.
It's also my second event.
So we're a tie.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much, I was introduced to Octane through Bill Corpu, who's the CEO of it, and he invited me to the cardiovascular, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. I was really starstruck at the cardiovascular forum, and I realized, this is not only for Long Beach or this is entire Orange County, but entire Southern California. That's where the environment of innovators is happening. So it's one of those hubs.
Now, are you out of California?
No, I live in California currently, but I'm pretty new. We moved in here a little bit over a year ago, so oscillating between San Diego and LA, and this is the hotspot for it.
Talk a little bit more about your work and what you do.
Okay, so I have kind of like two versions of me. One is...
Only two? Go ahead.
Only
I have more. But
maybe more,
I'm
but two
interviewing
main
you.
ones.
One day you interview me. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the one that you'll probably find on my LinkedIn profile is that I'm the CEO of Polonium Foundation, which is the nonprofit that's connecting scientific diaspora, those expats. So people that are technically a brain drain to their home country, and then they come in and are brain gain to the US or other countries that receive a whole bunch of talent because of the environment that they have, research and innovation. But then we are turning that brain drain into brain circulation, and that benefits also the country that receives the brain gain with internationalization of companies, ideas, academic efforts. All of that is much better when it's exchange and collaborative.
And so how are you helping the expats and how are you helping the companies? How are you bridging that gap?
So I didn't tell you about my second
We'll get into that
persona.
one. First, I want to know the first one, though. Let's get into that one first. Then we'll get into the second one.
Okay, it is going to be kind of relevant.
Oh, okay,
because,
go ahead.
By training, I'm a scientist, biochemist, molecular biologist as well, PhD trained. I actually came here to this country to get my education for a PhD program at the University of Chicago. Then I worked at a Fortune 100 company for quite a bit. I was also engaged in venture capital and multiple startups and consulting and advising role, which I'm doing until now. But I'm just an example of how mobile the diaspora can be and how much breadth of experiences we can have. If, say, Poland has an idea of needing that sort of expertise, they don't have an easy access to me. I am not necessarily in all of the networks for the Polish people, all the policymakers and government, but also non-government companies, big companies, but also startups in the innovative ecosystem. So by the fact that I understand the culture of my home country and I have some of the connections in there, I could be very handy, much more handy than a completely external expert, because I kind of like touched both worlds, right? So what we're doing, we are gathering people like me. I'm just one of many, many, and multiple ones are so much more accomplished than me and at so much better positions to both help their country, but also bring in the wealth of their country to, their current country where they live. So it triggers this exchange of expertise, but also people connections and collaboration,
I see that. And so when you look at like something like this Octane event, so ideally when you're here and you're networking, you're going to meet, maybe some companies that need that help, and maybe also like other contacts to other countries, companies, things like that. Am I off on that? I just want to make sure I understand
not really.
correctly.
Actually, you are very right. This is one of the events that we would comment, like network and get to know people. We do organize our own events, which are typically hubbed in top-notch world universities. We actually initiated at the University of Oxford and the University of Cambridge in the UK. This is where we started over a decade ago. It was a small-scale event that was thought to just connect all those Polish experts in a meeting place for ornithologists, quantum physicists, a diplomat. And those people came in together and they came in abundance. And then the community that organized it realized like this is a need, not only in UK, but throughout the world, especially in those places that are like so intense in research and innovation. Now, for this specific event, we are coming here to network, but it's also a great place to observe. So there are other countries that do their international research and innovation kind of policy. Sometimes we call it science policy too, that they're very good at it. So for example, Canadian presence. I don't know if you have noticed Canadian presence at this event, like multiple companies. There are presenters.
I noticed Canadian. You know who else I noticed that I was surprised? Puerto Rico.
Oh,
I saw quite a few Puerto Rico.
True.
I saw like 5 people. I'm like,
I would
wow.
suggest you dig in why they are here and how come. Well, they have their governments, where Puerto Rico is also like very tied to US, but Canadian governments and their scientific diplomats that are here in LA are taking really good care for networking of their ecosystem with this ecosystem here and sharing the wealth, both monetary and non-monetary that can turn into monetary. That we call social capital. So that social capital and that exchange of connections and network, that's extremely valuable to both of the countries, Canada and the US. I must admit that Poland is still learning the skills in here, but kind of in the capacity of the nonprofit CEO, I'm here and I'm sniffing around and I'm seeing, can we match or try to match what Canadian folks are doing and their presence in here and how good it is to both of the ecosystems.
Now you mentioned holding events in the UK and otherwise over 10 years ago. I have to ask, I know you've only been here a year, but are some events on the horizon here?
So
what's the thoughts?
For over a decade, we've been organized, maybe like right now we are upping up to 50 events or so.
Wow.
The Oxford and Cambridge became annual conference. 1 year is in Cambridge, the other one in Oxford, so it changes. And then we have a whole bunch of events in Europe. So if any of the folks in here are in Europe, we kind of don't stick to one place all that much, although we had event a couple times in Paris, but we had event in Germany, in Berlin, in Switzerland, in Brussels. There is an event coming up this fall in Milan. Last year we had an event, last fall, we had an event at UC Berkeley, and we are kind of eyeballing Harvard, MIT region, or potentially also going back to Stanford in the next couple of years, and also, potentially Southern California at one of the universities.
Well, that sounds good to me because I want to go, okay?
You're going to get an invitation.
So for me, that's what I'm saying, okay?
Yes.
So final question, Ala. If somebody wants to follow up, they want to learn more about the organization, how do they do that?
Well, they can just go online and learn about us from our website, poloniumfoundation.org. They are very free to reach out to me as well, which is going to end up in my inbox one way or another. There is a contact information on the website too that channels into the main leadership email that, we respond to. If I may, there's actually a really awesome mentorship program that we're conducting annually as well.
Okay.
So the cohort for 24-25 is going to be is being matched right now. And that's like one of the pearls of our activity because we connect those senior people with the more junior people, and we have this helpful hand and, help other as you're climbing, help them climb as well. So for mentorship program, I would invite everybody to join as well. If they cannot join the events in person, that's something that you can do virtually and be in touch with that community. You do not have to be Polish to participate in our programs, and most of the programming that we're doing is either free or with very humble fee for technical reasons, really.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's that.
Perfect. And for everybody watching at home, just so you know, we'll put the links to the website into the show notes so you can just click on the link and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Ala, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Very good being here.